Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Tyler's Museum of everything. I haven't done an update video in quite a while, so I thought I would do one right now. It's kind of a rainy day and it's good as time as any to do one. I'll just show you while I'm looking at something here on the computer real quick. That thing you're looking at, I ordered that off eBay. That is I think that's a Springfield weather station, and what's significant about that is that my grandparents had one just like that, and I wanted to have one to remember them, by. So yeah, let's get on with this update. I need to do more of these, I guess, but I'm sure you guys kind of wonder what's been going on here and there. Sometimes I wonder what's going on here and there. But here's the weather situation. It's been doing this all weekend. Rain, rain, rain. It turned back to about 45 degrees. So yeah, nothing real new here. So I've kind of been dodging the showers, tried to get out and do as much as I could, but I didn't get much done this weekend. And that's kind of what, I've been working a lot and things, and that's a bad excuse to use, but that and the rain always conspires to prevent me from getting much done sometimes, and I just can't stand that. It's a pitiful excuse, but well, where should we start? There's the Honda right there. And if you notice on the back of the bumper, you notice it looks like there's a bunch of paint knocked off of it. Not that, but right over on the back right there. Well, somebody hit me again the other day, and ran into me, and I can't talk about it much because we've not done the negotiations on the repairing it or anything like that yet. Put a dent in it. Look at that. See that right there on the body line? Look, it bent the quarter panel up. I'll be doggone, didn't know that. But well, okay. Well, anyway, like I said, I can't say much about that right now because we're still doing that. So let's just say I was sitting still and somebody ran into me. So yeah, but that car's been doing fine. It has I think it just turned over about 192,000 miles. And I just pretty much been driving it every day. Those cars, they are a great car. They're just so easy just to drive every day. You don't have to worry about them. Oh man, it's addictive nearly. But for just a everyday car, it's a great car. Not a problem in the world with it. So except for getting hit now, man. The Black Protege I sold recently, and I'll tell you why. Anything wrong with the car at all. It's a good car. It's kind of beat up for as many miles as it had on it, but I've been kind of doing some investing in cars and stuff lately, and I've been trying to be real careful about what I buy, and I found something that is extremely rare, so I had to have some money up to avoid digging into my savings again. So yeah, I sold the Protege, sold it to a guy who's gonna be driving it back and forth to school, so he was happy and I was happy. And I'll be showing you as soon as the weather clears a little bit and I have some time to do it. I'll show you what I bought. You guys are gonna like it. I like it, so we'll get to that later on. The truck, we've already covered the truck. The truck's doing okay. It's a little bit noisy. I showed you in the other two videos about what it's been doing. The Mercedes is running good, but the alternator went out on it recently. I was on my way to one of my job assignments, and charging light came on, so I got to deal with that. Take the alternator off. Most Mercedes alternators, you can just take the regulator off the back of it, and it's got the brushes attached to it, and it's a real easy repair. But that one's not that kind of alternator. It's got the old style alternator with the external regulator mounted elsewhere on the car. So that's the one that's like a Ford alternator, etc., and you have to take it all the way apart, and I ain't gonna do that. So I'm just gonna take it off and drop it off at the place here in Huntsville to have that done. There's the dart's running. Just waiting on me to order a few parts for it. I have to have a special throttle bracket to go on it so I can hook my transmission linkage up. But I did some timing adjustments and carburetor adjustments, and it's running real good now, so I'm very pleased with that. So, okay, get that out of the way. Oh, and my back's been bothering me too. I can tell you that. That comes and goes. Got a big box here. Show you right here on this kitchen table. Somebody's got their generator running out back there somewhere. You know, my neighbors are just, if you can see out that crack, there's a Chevy. That crack back there, you see that house? It's just that close to me. They're all, it's like this street, they're all the way around. So everything goes on back there, I hear it. But anyway, I got the old carburetor shop going again here, and I've been in carburetor purgatory with that Plymouth. I managed to reduce it from a running car down to one that doesn't run very good now, and I'm very good at that. Here's the carburetors on it. This is a BBD Carter BBD carburetor, and this carburetor worked pretty good. Not perfectly. I've yet to actually see one of these carburetors that actually runs very well. I don't know, they just the way they're calibrated or whatever, but it okay. But the problem I had with that carburetor is it did not have a bowl vent, and so when that car heat soaked, it made it really difficult to start it sometimes. It just have to spin and spin and spin until it cleared out because it just got so rich, you know, in the air cleaner. So I really didn't like that. So I sent off on eBay for this is a 1 year only Rochester 2G carburetor. I think this is a 2GV. It has a divorced choke, but this is the one that goes on a 71 Dodge and Plymouth car and truck 318. It's a 1 year only. The item code number on this, the part number on this one is 7041180 if you're curious. And it was advertised as being freshly rebuilt, which it was. So I wanted to use it because I think this is a better carburetor all the way around. It's a lot more heavy duty, robust. The casting is it's got this nice cast iron base plate. That one does not. So, but it's set up, you know, it's set up to go right on one of these. You can see it's got the arm and everything. So I know some of you may be saying, well, no, they never put Rochester 2Gs on a Mopar. Well, yeah, they did. You can look that number up. They just did it. I guess Carter was having trouble supplying their carburetors that year, so they just bought some from Rochester. But that's what this is. There's the number right here. Even came with some gas in it. How about that? No, actually it didn't. I've had it on the car testing it. That's why it's got some in it. See, there's your number, 7041180. But the problem with this carburetor I discovered was it had no accelerator pump function. It'd start running idle okay, and it would run okay if you got it to accelerate, but it just wouldn't, no accelerator pump. And this is where it goes right here, and got that, here's part of it. The cup is off of this, but it has a little, let me go in there and get that for you. It has a little neoprene type cup. This is made out of more of a modern material, but it just fits on here. It's made out of more of a modern material for that ethanol crap, but kind of just fits on here like this. Hope I'm not talking too fast. I'm just trying to get a lot talked about without having to have you guys sit here for ages. But so that's how it goes on there, and it just probably don't want to know what that is. It goes down in like this, and it attaches to this little lever which is right there, and that's how it works. Anybody wants to know more about that, I'll be glad to show it to you. But this is how this thing works. It's got I have a little spring here, goes in. So that's how your accelerator pump on the 2G goes together. Alright, it just, when you hit the gas, it pushes this thing down in there. Well, this thing has been working okay, but Or let me take that back. I thought it was working okay, but like I said, when I got it on the car, it didn't work. It wouldn't squirt any gas out. So it just had a huge stumble in it. So I got this thing back out and looked at it, and I noticed that the cup is kind of ripped a little bit. You can see it right there. So it was kind of coming apart, and it felt like it was dragging in there. So what I think happened is, I'll slow down my talking speed here a little bit so I can explain this, because I know some of you may want to know this in detail. But I had to sit on the internet in here for about an hour and research this. But they made these Rochester 2G carburetors. They made them in about 4 different CFM ratings, and without getting into that, the 2 larger, what they call a large bore 2G carburetor, used a different size accelerator pump. And I think what happened is, the way this happened was, I think they had a hard time getting a rebuild kit for this, because they're just about non-existent, because you have to have it just for this special carburetor. There's not a kit that'll fit this carburetor and just work on a lot more of them. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, what I figured went on was they rebuilt this carburetor, and they got a kit for like a Chevrolet or something like that. And I think this is the wrong pump diaphragm for it. There were some that are like this, which is called a double lip, which does not have a little spring in it. And then there's some that have a little spring in it. It's called a garter spring inside that little cup. So without confusing you any more than you are, and I am also, I think they tried to put this together with the wrong kit and wrong pump. So I'm going to spend $30 and order the right kit from a place that specializes in these carburetors, and I'll let you know how that goes. And I'm going to keep one of these carburetors. I've actually got another one out there on it. I've got 2 BBDs that don't exactly run right. And this one sounded good when I had it on there. It just, the accelerator pump wasn't working. So yeah, that's what's been going on here in Carburetor Village. And last but certainly not least, let me reveal what the car is that you guys are guessing at. You guys are good. Now I'm going to put the guys, I don't remember it because I'm not in front of the computer right now, but there's a person, I'm going to put his name on the video who won, because he was the first one that got it exactly. So, dun, 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 what this car is a 1968 Plymouth Fury 3 convertible with a 383 engine in it. So a couple of you won exactly. Y'all were sharp enough to find that number, that production number. It might have been a lot harder if I hadn't given you the production number, but I had to give you one hand at least. And 4,483 of these made. And also the color, this is QQ1, which is called electric blue on a 1968 Plymouth. Dodge also used it. And you can kind of see this car looks a little strange. It looks like it's missing some parts. That's because it is. And the weather's not cooperating enough to get it out of here and show you the full walk around, so you kind of got to just bear with me. But what happened to this car is I bought it off eBay. I got it for $1,600. It does run, does drive, but they were starting to restore it, and it was sitting outside. The story I was told was it was sitting outside a building, and they'd started taking the parts off there. Most of them are back here in the trunk. Start taking the parts off of it, and the building caught fire somehow. So the building's on fire, and the car's right there in front of it. So obviously it started getting heat damage. Here on the top, it baked the hood real good, and the worst part here is it busted out the windshield, and it baked the top off the top of the dashboard. I guess it burned the top off, what was left of the top, but miraculously it didn't do a whole lot more damage than that. The dash wiring is still good, looks like. The instruments are still okay. I kind of bunged up the steering wheel, kind of scorched along the top there, and I guess I got it moved away, so it didn't ruin it by any stretch of the imagination. It's just got to be cleaned up and go with that. So just a lot of melted plastic on it and things like that. But like I said, I've been trying to be careful about what I buy these days. I kind of really didn't intend on buying a car like this anytime soon, but you're crazy if you don't buy a running big block convertible Mopar for $1,600. You're just crazy. I mean, that's a good price for one, because I'll show you why. Now, I think this car has already been partially restored at one point earlier in its lifetime, because the floors are solid. They've already been done. I can tell they've been repaired, but they were repaired well. The trunk's already been repaired, so the engine looks like it's been gone through. Also, not really recently, but it looks clean. It looks like the original 383 that's still in it. But this was a 383 two-barrel car, and it now has a thermoquad on it. And so I'll show you more on that. We'll get into another video on that when I can get the door open. I may do a video here in a minute on it, so, because I know I've been kind of keeping you guys high and dry on this stuff lately. I tell you, my back's been bothering me too. One thing I like about it, it's got Magnum 500s all the way around. I don't know if they're the originals, but they are there. And the worst part of the body of the car is right back here at the back, behind the wheels on each side. It's got a little hole in it like that, but the rest of it looks like all metal. So you guys sometimes ask me about my plans for stuff like this. This is just kind of an investment, and hopefully have just a little bit of fun with it. You know, I'm just do what I do with it. You know, I think it'll be a fun car to work with. I just don't want to go further than that. You know, I just don't want to say anything further than that. You know, I like a lot of cars, and I like to mess with a lot of stuff, and you know, I don't like telling people that I'm going to do this and going to do that, and then something happen, I'll not be able to do it. So we'll just see what we get into with this. First thing I think is going to be just to probably fix the dash on it, fix whatever needs to be done, get a windshield in it, and just get it where I can drive it. Because that's what you do with a convertible, is you drive it. So I'll show you real quick. If you want to see what this car looks like, I was happy to see this. Where are we? Yeah. Did a screen grab here. One just sold. This is the exact same car right here. This one's been restored. Not exactly correctly, but this is the same exact car as that one out there. Super Commando. A Super Commando is a 4-barrel, and a Commando is a 2-barrel. But it just sold for $9,251. So that's what I'm trying to kind of do here. Is try to find things I like and have fun with, and maybe, you know, be worth it. So I got a fender tag here off of a 1976 Aspen RT. It was in the junkyard recently. Whole car is gonna be scrapped, but at least I saved the fender tag. Alright guys, well, 18-minute video. Hope this gave you some good info of what's been going on here in Muddy Flats. So I'll talk to you soon. See ya.